Welcome to Kendra's Artistic Crochet Designs. And today we are going to make this black cat. This is our last Halloween diamond. So we're going to make the black cat. Alright, so we are going to start with the chain 2. Oh my goodness. No, I didn't do that right. Alright. I have to go by, I didn't put it in the computer right for this diamond, so I'm going to have to go by the chart. Alright, so we're going to chain 2, and in the second chain from the hook, we're going to do a single crochet and 2 doubles in there. Alright, and that is called a falling leaf stitch, and that is block 1. Okay, so this is the first row. There's 1 block in the first row. Now we're going to chain 2 and turn, and in the second chain from the hook again, you will always start every row this way. We're going to put that falling leaf stitch in that second chain from the hook, which is the single crochet and 2 doubles. Alright, and then we're going to skip the next 2 stitches, and in the third stitch over, we're going to put another falling leaf stitch in there. And that is row 2. And in row 2 we have 2 squares. And so it'll always go up by 1 every row. Chain 2 and turn. And row 3, we're going to, like I said, we're going to start out again in that second chain from the hook, making our falling leaf stitch. And then we're going to skip 2, and then the third one, which is that one in the middle, we're going to put another falling leaf stitch in there. And then we're going to skip 2, and we're going to do this again. And now you should have 3 squares in your row. One, two, 3. Okay, so row 4, we're going to chain 2 and turn again. And this time we're going to add another color in there. So we're going to start our falling leaf stitch in the second chain from the hook. But when we get to the second double crochet, we are not going to finish it. So we go through 2, and we still have 2 on our hook. And then we're going to take, it's the dark blue that we're using. We're going to take that and put it through, because that is our next color. Now you were still going to skip the next 2 stitches, and in that third stitch you're going to make a falling leaf stitch with the blue, or the dark blue. And I've carried this orange with me because we're going to go to the orange next. No, we're not. We need 2 dark blues in there. Hang on a minute. We need 2 dark blues. All right, and then we're going over to the orange because the last square, the first and the last square of every row will always be orange because that is our border. We got a little orange border going on here. So it'll always be orange, the first and the last square. So we've got 4 squares in row 4. All right, now we need to mark off row 5. So, can you see me what I'm doing here? Okay, so I'm just going down here to row 5, and I'm just going to mark off the squares. The ones that I'm going to do, so I know what colors is coming next. All right, let's chain 2 and turn. And of course, we're going to start off with the orange. But this time, in row 5, we will be going to the blue after the first orange. Well, which we did before. So we're going to put this blue in. And then we're going to the orange. And we're going to put an orange in the middle. So we still need to bring this blue with us. And then we go back to the blue. So it's orange, blue, orange, blue, orange. And there is what row 5 should look like, and you should have 5 squares. Okay. So row 6 is next. And so this time we're going to chain 2 and turn. And of course we'll start off with our orange as usual. And this time we're going to need 2 blue after the first orange. No, I'm wrong. We're going to need 4 blue. Goodness gracious. So we're going to need 4 blue in between the 2 oranges. And then we'll put the orange at the end as usual. And that's what row 6 should look like. All right. All right, so row 7. Chain 2 and turn. We'll start off with our orange. And then we need 2 blue next. So there's 1. And 2. And then we need an orange next. And then 2 blue and an orange at the end. All right. And there is what row 7 should look like. All right, so figure out what we're doing in row 8 here. So row 8 is we've got 6 blue between the 2 oranges. So let's chain 2 and turn and do that. Let me pull some more of this orange out. Starting out with the orange. And then we switch over to our blue and put 6 blue in. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, and 6. And then we get an orange at the end, and row 9 is done. And that's what it should look like. All right, so we'll be back for row 10 in a moment. All right, so we're on row 9, not 10. And how you know that is how many squares you have. You just count your squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this, we just did row 8, and that's how you know. If you ever have to quit in the middle of your project and you don't remember what row you're on, just count your squares and see what row you're on. So we're going to start this out as usual with the orange. And then we need to put 4 blue in. So there's 1. 2. 3. And 4. All right, and now we're going to bring in our black for our black cat. We'll start the black cat. We need to put 2 black in next. So there's 1. And 2. Leave those behind. Bring in the blue. And we need to finish off this row with 1 blue and 1 orange. And that is what row 9 looks like. And again, all you gotta do is count your squares to make sure you have 9 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then that way you know. So we'll be back for row 10 in a moment. Okay, so row 10, we're going to chain 2 and turn. And we'll, of course, we'll start off with the orange as usual. And then we need to switch over to blue. And we need to put 1 blue in. And then we need to go to our black. And we're going to put 3 black in. So there's 1. 2. 3. And then we need to go back to our blue, and we're going to leave this black behind here. We need 4 blue and an orange to finish it off. All right, and there we have it. So that's what it should look like, and we will be back for row 11 in a moment. All right, so row 11, we're going to start off with the orange. And then we need to switch over to blue and put 4 blue in. So there's 1. 2. 3. And 4. All right, and then we're bringing the black, and we need to put 2 black in. So there's 1 and 2. And then go back to the blue. Leaving that black behind. We need to put 3 blue and an orange to finish off this row. All right, and that's what it looks like for row 11. And we'll be back for row 12 in a moment. Okay, so row 12. We'll start out with the orange. And then we're going to put 4 blue in. So there's 3. and 4, and then we need 2 black, and then 4 blue and an orange will finish off this row. So there's 2, 3, and 4. And go the orange. All right, and so there is row 12 and what it should look like. All right, we'll be back for row 13 in a moment. All right, so row 13, we're going to start out with the orange. And then we're going to switch over to blue and put 3 blue in. So there's 1, 2, and 3. All right, and now we need to put 3 black in next. So there's 1, 2, and 3. We'll leave the black behind, and now we're going to finish this row off by putting 5 blue and 1 orange. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and put the orange here at the end. All right, and that is row 13 and what it should look like, and we'll be back for row 14. Okay, row 14, chain 2 and turn, And we'll start out with the orange. And then we're going to switch over to blue. We need 5 blue. So there's 2. This is 2. Three, 4, 1, 2, 4, 5. And then we need 4 black. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then we're going to switch over to blue, and we're going to finish off this row by putting 3 blue and an orange. This is 2. And 3. Switch over to the orange. And right there, we've got row 14. And we'll be back for row 15 in a moment. Row 15. All right, so we are going to start out with the orange and go over to the blue. We need 3 blue next. So there's 1, 2, and 3. And we're going to switch over to the black and put 4 black in. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we'll leave that behind and we'll switch over to the blue. We're going to finish off this row by putting 6 blue and an orange. So there's 2. 3, 4, 5, and 6. And there's the orange. Okay, so there's what it should look like now. And you should have 15 squares, because that was row 15. We'll be back for row 16 in a moment. Row 16, we're going to chain 2 and turn. Or did I already turn? There we go. Well, we're going to start out with the orange. And then we need to put 7 blue in next. So there's 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. And then we're going to go to black, and we're going to put 5 black in next. Two, that's 3, 4, and 5. And then we're going to switch back over to blue, and we're going to finish off this row by putting 2 blue and an orange at the end. there is row 16 finished. So we will be back for row 17 in a moment. Alright, so row 17, we'll start out with the orange. And then we'll switch over to blue, and we're going to put one blue in. And then we need to switch over to black. And we're going to put 6 black in this time. So there's 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. And 6. Alright, then we're going to bring our blue back. We need 8 blue and an orange to finish this off. So there's 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. Alright, and so that's what it should look like for row 17. And we'll get ready for row 18 here in a moment. Alright, so row 18, we'll start out with the orange as usual. And then we need 1 blue next. And then we're going to travel this black down here. We need 2 black. And then we're going to switch over to the blue. We're going to need to carry this black with us because we're going to need it again. So we need 5 blue next. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Alright, and then we're going to switch back over to the black and put 7 black in. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, six, and 7. And then we're going to finish this off by putting 1 blue and 1 orange here at the end. Alright, and that's what row 18 looks like. And we'll get ready for row 19 next. So row 19, we'll start out with our orange again. And switching over to blue, we need to put 2 blue in. So there's 1, and 2. And then we need 1 black, and then we're going to switch back over to the blue and put 2 blue in. Alright, and then go back to the black, and we need 2 black next. No, 3 black. We need 3 black. So there's 1, 2, and 3. And then back to the blue. We're going to put 5 blue in. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Alright, going back to the black, we need 3 black, and then we're going to finish off this row by putting 1 blue, 1 orange in. Alright, and there is row 19. And we'll be back for row 20 in a moment. Alright, so row 20. We are going to start out with the orange. And then we're going to go over to blue, and we're going to put 3 blue in. So there's 1, 2, and 3. Then we're going to bring up our black, and we need to put 2 black in. And then go back to our blue and put 4 blue in. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we need 4 black. So go back to the black. So there's 1, 2, three, and 4. And then you need to go back to the blue and put 2 blue in. One, and 2. And then we need 1 black, 2 blue, and an orange to finish this off. Okay, and that's what it should look like. So we'll be back for row 21 in a moment. Alright, so row 21, chain 2 and turn, and we'll start out with the orange. And then we'll switch over to blue. And then we need 3 blue. So there's 1, 2, and 3. Then 1 black and 1 blue. And then 5 black. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then we're going back to our blue, and we're putting 3 blue in. So there's 1, 2, and 3. And then we need our black back, and we need to put 2 black in next. And then go back to our blue, and then we're going to finish this off by putting 4 blue and an orange at the end here. All right, and that is row 21 and what it should look like. All right, so we will be back for row 22 in a moment. All right, so row 22. We'll start this row out with the orange as usual. And then we're going to go to blue. And we need to put 4 blue in next. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then we're going to switch over to black. And we're going to put 10 black in next. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, and then we need 2 blue and a black. And then we're going to finish this row off by putting 3 blue and an orange. And there's 2. And 3. And we'll put our orange in. Alright, and there we finally connected the cat to the legs. The tail is just about done. So there is row 22 done. Alright, we'll be back for row 23 in a second. Alright, row 23. We'll start out with the orange. And then we need our blue. And we need 4 blue. So there's 1. 2. 3. And 4. And then we need 1 black, 1 blue. And then 10 black. So there's 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. And 10. Alright, and then we're going back to the blue, and we need to put 3 blue and 1 orange. So there's 1, 2, and 3. And then we need blue, orange, one blue, one orange to finish it off. All right, there is row 23. And we'll be back for row 24 in a moment. All right, so row 24, chain 2 and turn. We'll start out with the orange. And switch over to blue. And then we'll go back to the orange, and we need to put 2 orange in next. And then 3 blue. There's 2. And then we need to switch over to the black, and we're going to put 9 black in next. So there's 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. And 9. All right, then we're going back to the blue, and we need to put 2 blue in and 1 black. And then 4 blue and 1 orange will finish off this row. So there's 3. And 4. Finish it off with the orange here. All right, here's our black cat so far. That's row 24. All right, we'll be back in a moment for row 25. All right, so we're going row 25. We're going to start out with our orange as usual. And we need 4 orange. So we're going to, on the 3rd orange, we're going to bring this blue up with us. All right, and then we're going to switch over to blue after 4 oranges and put 2 blue in. And then we need our black, and we need 1 black, 1 blue next. And then we need 9 black. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And then we're going to switch back over to our blue and put 2 blue and 1 orange. So there's 1, and 2. Hang on a minute. Bring that black with me, and I did. Dang it. Alright, leave that black behind. We're done with it for this row. So 2 blue and an orange. And then we need 2 blue and 3 orange. And then 3 orange at the end. Alright, so here is our black cat thus far. We have half of our diamond done. You should have 25 squares, or yeah, 25 blocks or squares, however we want to call them. So half the diamond is done, and tomorrow we'll be finishing up the other half. And we'll start our decreasing on both ends when we come back tomorrow for row 26. So I want to thank you guys for watching. Have a great day, and bye bye now.